police watch this happen from the sidelines.
The idea that, people are phoning 911 and police are just never showing up, which is what was happening during the occupation.
We couldn't help but tell ourselves that the reason the world allowed this far-right freedom convoy to park in our backyards was because the people of Overbrook and Vandy don't matter to anyone in the world or the city.
The country seems to have forgotten or were unaware that downtown Ottawa contains more than just the Parliament buildings and a canal. Students, families, elderly folks, and young children actually live, work, and go to school on these streets.
It was not okay that the police directed the traffic to Kent Street, to Lower Town, and to Overbrook, the three poorest parts of town. It is not okay that the occupation happened in Somerset Ward, which is the poorest ward in town.
People with disabilities could not get around. They could, because of the honking, because of the intimidation.
The deep concerns were that we might not be reachable by fire or ambulance.
I felt very ignored and left out by the police and the city from the get-go. This is a little bit a problem from before with Ottawa, that when something happens, they tell downtown residents to avoid downtown. Don't drive downtown. Just don't go there. They completely ignore the people who live downtown who cannot leave.
The tenants of my building missed important medical and mental therapy appointments essential to their personal well-being.
I saw our city abandon an entire neighborhood. I saw our elected officials save a few, abandon us, and in some cases saw public officers like our chief of police ridiculing the experiences that the downtown was going through at the time.
And when my roommate and I had to stay at this friend's house, she got a parking ticket, while the people who were on Kent were getting a complete free pass gridlocking the street.
Having seen social media posts of Ottawa police members fist bumping, high-fiving, speaking fairly highly of, and providing supplies to convoy participants, it was my assessment that if there was an incident, convoy participants would not be the ones to experience police violence. It would be the most marginalized members of our community,
who already face discrimination or indifference from police at the best of times.
And the 311 person directed me to call 911. When I called 911, the operator made me aware that they were aware what was going on Kent Street, and the fires were probably lit because people were cold. So I felt like an idiot for even bringing it up, because the authorities clearly were aware, but nothing was going to happen.
And I have to say that as it was a bit of a shock, and I'm going to say owning full privilege as a white woman in an agency with two police officers that were on our board of directors, to hear that they weren't responding, and imagine what that was feeling like for individuals in apartment buildings who couldn't get out of apartment buildings, and we're told that there was going to be no response.
What use is an emergency management plan if it's failed to be put into practice? And why does the city not have any urgency in getting its house in order? What is the city doing to prevent this from happening again?